Hi, I'm Snez, personal trainer, healthy lifestyle coach, and your guide to feeling your best. This podcast is a segment from my weekly radio show, Wellbeing Wednesdays, broadcast live on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. It's all about sharing real, practical tips to help you move more, eat better, and live healthier without the overwhelm. Let's dive in, shall we? Coming up next, it's something really interesting that you may have noticed. I know I'm seeing it everywhere, is that gut health is everywhere right now. Whether people are talking about kombucha, ginger shots, probiotic supplements, social media is buzzing with quick fixes and the promise that you can heal your gut overnight, which the truth, when it comes to gut health, it does take time. There's no shortcut. There is no magic bullet, and it is a process. And in fact, these quick fixes can oftentimes do more harm than good, as most quick fixes do. So today I wanted to break down what really works when it comes to improving your gut health. And it really is a lot simpler than you think. We don't need to follow some of these gimmicks. But the thing is, let's start firstly, before I even dive into that, is the big red flag. And that's anything that claims to fix your gut health instantly, or anything that claims to fix anything instantly, should generally set off alarm bells for you. So sure, popping some probiotics or drinking kombucha now and then, it might feel like you're doing something good for your gut. But if you're still living off heavily processed foods, and in particular high sugar snacks and foods, and skipping fiber that's coming from vegetables and other high fiber grains, well, it's like you're releasing a handful of good bacteria warriors into a battlefield where they're massively outnumbered and you're completely setting them up to fail. It's sending out those good bacteria into battle with absolutely no chance. Apart from the reality is you're just wasting money with anything that you might be buying or taking. So it's like watering your garden. If you're not going to nourish the soil first, no amount of sprinkling the plants with water is going to help them thrive. It's just not going to work. So going to talk about this 3-step plan for building a healthier gut. And we're going to start firstly with the big one, which is getting rid of sugar. Now, sugar is like fertilizer. It's the best way to describe it for your bad bacteria that's in your gut. The ones that cause inflammation, the cravings, and the digestive issues. All of these issues are as a result of the bad bacteria. And when you eat foods that are high in sugar regularly, you're allowing those harmful bacteria to thrive. And when harmful bacteria thrive, it throws out the balance. They also create a very acidic environment, which means it gets quite hard to bring in the new bacteria because our good bacteria can't survive in an acidic environment. So you're just pouring them into acid pretty much. So what we want to do first off is, as much as you can, cut back on sugar. So this doesn't mean that you need to completely get rid of all sugars, because that's near impossible in our diets. But the really highly concentrated sources of sugar that come from things such as sweet biscuits, lollies, cakes, soft drink is terrible. All of those ways is a really simple way to get rid of some of that sugar. Now, the other thing with sugar is, one thing is removing as much as we can, but the other thing is pairing it with the protein or pairing it with fiber, which is going to slow down how quickly and readily it absorbs into our body. So that's another way to kind of think of it. But the first thing we want to do is cut back on all the heavily processed sugars. Now, that doesn't mean that you can never eat chocolate or lollies or cakes or have a soft drink ever again. But what we want to do is, once we avoid them for a period of time, when we start to get our gut health moving in the right direction, and you will feel a difference as a result. So we just want to make our bodies more resilient with a higher concentration of good bacteria that can manage when we do add some sugar in, and we can kind of keep those bad bacteria levels down and at bay because we've got a good balance to begin with. Step number 2 is making sure that we're adding prebiotic foods to your diet. So probiotics are like fertilizer for your good gut bacteria. They help those good bacteria grow and multiply. So things that are good for prebiotic foods are garlic, onions, leek, asparagus, bananas. These are all rich in probiotic fibers, and they also help your gut bacteria flourish. Then, so what we want to do is we want to create, first step is create an alkaline environment that has a balance of good bacteria and bad bacteria. We do that by getting rid of the sugars. Once we have this nice neutral environment, then it's time to lay down the foundations of feeding or giving our good bacteria some food to feed on. Then it's time to add in the probiotic foods. And so probiotics are the live bacteria that's found in foods such as yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and yes, it's also found in kombucha. These foods can be powerful tools, but only after you've built the right environment for them to actually survive, because they won't survive in an environment that's heavily acidic and out of balance. So if you're still eating poorly and relying on kombucha and probiotic supplements to fix your gut, those good bacteria just aren't going to make it. So we want to first improve our diet and then add in the probiotic foods to give you that extra boost. Also, you can supplement with probiotics as well. So your chemist, health food shops, they all do have supplements that you can get, even supermarket. Just check in with the quality of some of those that you do get from there. A bonus tip is to make sure that you are adding fiber into your gut, which your bacteria love fiber. So fiber feeds the good bacteria. So think of things such as oats, lentils, vegetables, some fruits. These are all going to really help the situation as well. So the thing is that there's this 3-step plan before you start to consciously try to put good bacteria in, which is what we're seeing on a lot of social media platforms, is just getting in as much good bacteria. But if we don't have the right environment, this is the one step before that you are now aware of and starting to think of. Cut back the processed sugar, add in the probiotic foods to create a good healthy environment, and then flood yourself with some good probiotics. And it's not an instant fix. It does take time, but you will feel that improvement in reduced bloating. You will feel that improvement in more energy levels, less fatigue, more clarity. That brain fog definitely does disappear as we start to improve our gut health. Thanks for joining me on this segment from Wellbeing Wednesdays, as heard live on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone who might find it helpful, and subscribe so you never miss a show. Want to catch the live broadcast? Well, you can tune in Wednesdays from 12 till 2 p.m. on 88.6 Plenty Valley FM, or find my info on Wellbeing Wednesdays with Snez, the Facebook group. Take care, stay healthy, and remember, it's the little choices every day that create big changes. Talk soon.